Another big, well, the only complaint I can think of now to mention is the fact that a lot of people, especially overseas audiences, didn't like the fact that there was a load of bald prisoners running around all with British accents.
What's not to love about that? It's insane.
Whenever they get confused, and there's a lot of people who complain that there's too many characters who you don't care about who are dying, and it makes the alien less of a threat. Again, that comes back to my point of, I don't think the alien was meant to be the big shocking thing in this movie. It's it's more animalistic. It's lost its human traits.
That's it. Yeah, I think the change in the alien is the main thing. Not the fact
change is the alien's just more brutal. It's if you see it, you're probably gonna die. That's it. Like, there's really no getting away from this one. And but it's like these prisoners. Okay, in this video what I'm going to do is I'm just going to list all the prisoners and their names. I'm going to put their faces up. There are a couple who don't have names, a couple of extras, like especially Vincent, the most famous one. They say, "I think I found Vincent," and people are trying to piece together who the hell Vincent is. No one knows who was cast as Vincent. Even some of the cast members didn't know. Like, it's hilarious. Like, yeah, there are some characters there, who are just cannon fodder. Much like the Marines and Aliens in the hive sequence.
Think in the hive scene, at least 4 of them. Like, so let's think there's Crow, Frost.
But like Frost, we had a face and a name. That's what I think they're arguing.
I guess so. Yeah.
But there are a couple of them, but they don't even have lines.
And the only reason you know their names is because you're constantly seeing their names on the screen.
Yeah.
If you didn't see that visual prompt, you wouldn't know what their names are.
But then the other argument is the fact that that happens quite early on in the movie.
Yeah.
Whereas this is the big climax.
I suppose they're still struggling for names, like at the climax of the film.
But I'm not even struggling for names. Even as a kid, I thought this chase sequence was great, and it goes back to a very simple fear. You don't need to know these people's names. You just need to know that they're human and they have feelings. And that they're running around in a dark, horrible place from this creature that is just full of malice and just hunting them. Yeah, and just that primal fear. It goes this is what the Alien films build up to. A very primal thing. You're running away from a predator.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's not like an alien stalking a corner. It's chasing you down like a cheetah or a jaguar. Like,
it's running you down.
It's a primal fear.
And you have to get to that door and close it in time, otherwise you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think as well, like, the characters, despite the fact they don't have, like, their names aren't easy to figure out, they still have so much character.
A lot of them do,
like, a couple of them obviously, are, kind of throwaway, not really particularly interesting. But the majority of them are, for criminals, for doing some fucking brutal crimes, they're quite likeable.
David, Morse, Dylan,
they're just fucking great. They're like, they are real characters, but just like
Jude. I love Jude. Yeah, we're watching it right now. He's got the scissors.
Yeah, just like,
don't hold it like that.
And I think as well, the fact that they are really jaded people. These people have done brutal crimes.
Yeah, they're all prisoners.
They're basically, they aren't nice people. They aren't good people. But and I think the fact they are so jaded when they're faced with this alien is really, gives them a chance to behave really interestingly. Whereas in like the first film, they're all terrified. In this, like, you just know that
they're going after the alien.
Yeah, you know that they've just seen such hideous things in their lives that them being hunted down and killed by this brutal creature is just another thing they face in a way. I don't know, like
in a kind of way. I mean, that's a really interesting point, that like these guys are criminals, and it's like we don't need to know all their backstories to know that they're prisoners and that they're in this place for a reason. And do we forgive them? It's going to sound really religious here, but we forgive them for their like sins because we don't need to know their history. We just know they're bad people, and then look at the sacrifice they're all making at the end. And they're doing this on a backwater planet. In order to stop this alien, no one will know their names. They're all going to be silent heroes, and they're going to save the human race from this horrible viral creature. Like, and they don't necessarily know that that's what they're doing. Like, in a sense that they don't know everything about it. They just know this alien's like a demon. But Ripley knows, and she's guiding them.
Yeah.
In a very religious aspect again.
I really, because I mean, like, it is a really religiously charged film, and I really like it. I think it's fucking
It's religiously
really
charged, but it's not telling you that religion is the way you should live your life.
It's not a religious example. It's just, like I say, religiously charged. It has that feeling of redemption to it. You know, these people are redeeming themselves. It doesn't mean they're all going to go to heaven. It doesn't mean there is a God, but within themselves, they're all redeeming themselves in sort of what they believe in. You know, it's like he's saying it's not even like a proper religion. Like, you know,
yeah, exactly.
They've just like kind of come up with this kind of way of like absolving themselves by, you know, just living out their days and you know, praying on, you know, on this planet
with pretty much the bare minimum of stuff to live as well.
Yeah, it is like a priesthood, and like, you know, and then they do get this chance to absolve themselves. They do get this chance at redemption, and it's
a really fucking brutal one.
Yeah, it's a really brutal one, but like, you know, and that's the thing, like these people, like you say, they're all
they got their asses handed to them.
Yeah, geez, I mean, that guy's got his throat torn open, like, but yeah, you know, like when Lieutenant Andrews says about like, you know, like they're all like rapists, murderers, and child molesters. You should never feel like you forgive those people, or that you should never feel as though they deserve redemption. Yet they do it in this. I don't know. It's.
No, well, it's not that they don't get redeemed for those crimes. They
at least
they're human. They're human.
Yeah.
They should be They should have the choice to save us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they might be the most horrible people in the universe, but they should have the choice as much as anyone to save the human race.
Yeah.
And if they want to do it, they do it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really interesting movie, like really interesting, and it's like one of the most fascinating films I've ever seen. And that, you know, half of that is nostalgia goggles from growing up with it and loving this universe and soaking everything in and having the time to do it. Because a lot of people watch this flippantly thinking it's just a monster movie.
Yeah.
It's way more than that.
I mean, I think you think how many times over the years, because I mean, I guess because we both watched it like years and fucking years ago when we were really young, we've had a chance to watch it and keep watching it, keep thinking about
study it, like really study it,
rather than, like you say, just flippantly watching it.
Like I've studied the production of it and I know how crap that was. But like to study the final product, what have we got? What story is being told in front of us?
Exactly, yeah.
Regardless of how it came to be.
Yeah.
What are we watching?
What can we get from what we're seeing? Yeah, totally. It's
a work of art. That's what art does. That's what it's meant to do.
Just provoke.
It's gonna sound. That sounds really like fucking, like a sort of. And now the fucking
the
commandos. Okay, let's just move on from that. Let's talk about design. So we talked a little bit about design, but the commandos, if you're going to have anything that's cooler than the Marines from the last film, they nailed it with the Weyland-Yutani commandos. They look so awesome.
It's the thing as well is like they're really obviously really sinister. Like, you know, you have the scientists all clad in like plastic overcoats and, you know, protective gear and stuff. But the thing that's creepy about it is like how quickly, like, you know how you say when they find out the xenomorph is there.
Yeah, they were like, we're going to be here in 4 weeks, guys, and then they suddenly go, no, we're going to be here in 2 hours.
Yeah, but that
they've been circling around. Like, how close have they been? Were they watching? This is the whole fan theory of that they planted the egg on the ship.
Exactly,
like,
you see that.
How close were they? Yeah, like.
But like also, yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say, like, back then.
I don't agree with that, because if you have an egg, why the hell would you go through that?
Yeah, why would you go to this much?
Let's not go down that road.
No, we'll talk. I think we should have a separate video just about everything, all the other stuff. But anyway, so yeah, like when they find out, that's actually, you know how the alien has earned this like sort of official name as the xenomorph. Yeah. The first time you hear it being called a xenomorph, you don't even hear it. You don't even hear the word.
It's in the second film.
Say it, yeah. Yeah, no, I thought, was it in Alien?
It's an Alien. So he goes. Because I thought like he goes as a xenomorph. And then, what? And he goes a xenomorph.
A xenomorph, yeah, that's
a bug hunt.
Sorry, no, I got that wrong. I was thinking like in Alien 3, that's the first time you see it.
It's the first time you see it written. Yeah, you see how they spell it.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, it's just earned this name, the xenomorph, which I just don't think is as scary as the name Alien.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with xenomorph. Sometimes I call it a xenomorph, sometimes I just call it the alien. I use xenomorph when I'm talking about a sentence where I don't want people to get confused that I'm talking about the film's name.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm
definitely
specifically trying to talk about the specific creature, I'll say xenomorph. But, you know,
I don't know, I just think that sounds too camp sci-fi, sort of typical kind of.
I accept it because it's in the movies.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
totally.
a xenomorph. Like if that's what they want to call it.
It's not like the worst name in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but I think the alien, I think that sums it up really well because it is alien in every sense.
Yeah.
It is an alien-looking creature. It's an alien-acting creature. It's an alien from another planet. Which is obviously alien. So I just think that name just really sums up everything about it really well. But yeah.
But I love that the fourth act in this film isn't the alien comes back out of the lead but gets pretty quickly killed off. The fourth act in this is her facing the company.
Yeah.
The people who have caused everything right from the beginning.
Yeah, because like
sent
the
them
alien
to that planet, the people who gave Ash the information to say the cure is expendable, bring everything back. Like the face off in the fourth act of this is her confronting the company themselves.
Because the alien's comeback after it gets buried in the lead is really short lived. It's not like a big show. It's like they've had their big showdown with the alien now. It jumps out of the lead, but it's dying. It's not going to survive. It's starting to die. And then they just pour some water.
I don't know if it's starting to die. It seems pretty active. It chases.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's drenching in hot lead.
But like the way it's like squealing and squirming around, you could kind of tell that it's actually doing it some harm.
Yeah,
It's not like in tip-top condition. It's actually in pain. Like, and then they just pour water on it, and that is enough to kill it. It's not like a really drawn out.
I love it. You can see in the background. That's where they were sat when they came up with this plan. Did you notice that?
Really?
You see the circle he was sat in when he goes, "Fuck it, let's go for it." That's
nice.
You when you watch this film more and more, you notice locations are all really quite close to one another.
Yeah.
Like they do only live in a tiny section of this huge prison.
And then hence the mapping out of all the rest of the parts. But yeah, so like you're saying, the fourth act is then her face off with the
company,
and also, but not just with the company, the face off with the alien insider. She's also battling against that.
And I prefer the assembly cut where it doesn't burst out of her. I like the fact that Ripley, as a character, doesn't go through her most biggest fear.
Yeah, she manages to that is her victory. That despite the fact she's infected,
she saves the human race and doesn't
have it burst out. Like that is her victory over the alien. Like she doesn't have that same fate that, like say, Kane has.
Yeah, whereas in the theatrical cut, it bursts out and she holds on to it, which I never really liked because I always thought that it's a queen embryo. It's massive. Like she holds on to it like that and then falls back into the furnace.
Yeah, like why would
you'd be in pain.
You'd be in pain, and
you'd be boiling as you're falling.
Look at fucking Kane. Kane wouldn't have had the time if he was falling towards lava to hold on to that thing.
Exactly.
It was too dying.
It was too ridiculous.
Yeah, like I don't know. It was too. Yeah, like you say, it's too like sentimental almost. Like Ripley detests.
I think what they were trying
creature.
to allure to was the fact that she was grabbing it and taking it down with her.
Or accepting her fate or something,
or not letting it escape, jump off her somewhere.
Yeah.
Just imagine that. And it's like looking at her as she falls.
Definitely.
No, but I prefer the
definitely when it doesn't burst out, because that is her final victory over it. She's she's killed it. Not only has she killed it, she's also
stopping the company and
before it's killed her as well. It's her choice to die in a way, because it's like being pipped at the post. Like she's jumping off to kill herself, but before she manages to kill herself, the alien kills her, and I don't know, that would just.
It seems like a bit of a shit ending.
Yeah, because it's like she's just about to get, and then the alien fucks it up again.
It's another reason why everyone should watch the Blu-ray assembly cut.
Yeah, I think that's what I always tell people, if they're going to watch it, watch the assembly cut on the Blu-ray discs. It's just it's the ultimate one. It's just But yeah, I don't know. That's what I think of that, the ending. Why, that's my preference as to why, that ending is better.
Yeah.
Sort of my explanation as to why that is my preference.
Okay. Regardless of what you think, there's no denying this film looks amazing. The score's immaculate.
Yeah, Jesus, the finale, as they're closing up the facility is just.
And I don't think anyone really denies that if you're going to end this trilogy after all this, Ripley had to die, and she had to die saving the universe. So she
heroically, that is it. It's a hero's death, is what she gets. So that is the perfect. I mean, I would just say the ending to this film is the perfect cut-off point, the perfect ending to this franchise.
Anyway, we can talk for hours. We've got Alien Resurrection next. So that we have birth, life, death, and now we're going to have the resurrection.